Okay, so I wanted some more whimsy and happiness and joy in my life because January sucks. Nobody likes January. I hate January. And right now, we're waiting for a massive winter storm to come in. So, I want to draw cute little angel cats. And I've always wanted to paint the cover of one of my sketchbooks, but I never got around to it because I haven't had like a painting sketchbook in a long time. So, that's what we're doing today. I'm only going to do one camera angle because I'm lazy. And I don't want to do another camera angle. Maybe in the future, you can look forward to another camera angle. But for right now, we got a top-down one. You can pretend like you're me. Anyway, I use golden open air acrylics or open acrylics. These are my favorite paints. I think they're the best. I can't recommend them enough. They're really good. Also, it is in like 3 times speed because it was super boring without it being really sped up. I get ya. I am the common man. I get that attention spans aren't what they used to be. So, where it's in 3.5 times speed. I think it's still chill. I mean, it's almost 30 minutes long, for Christ's sake. So yeah, using a lot of different tools that I don't clean, so I ruin them, like the sponge. I forgot to clean it, so it's destroyed with paint. It's just really hard and crunchy. I might have to soak it, but for right now, it's just got one side that's nasty. Anyway, what's been going on? I finished The Sopranos. I really like The Sopranos. It's actually one of my favorite shows. I will say, though, I prefer, because they're kind of similar shows, Breaking Bad and The Sopranos, aren't they? They're both crime shows. They're both deeper, more, I guess, character-driven shows. And I honestly, I like Breaking Bad so much that it's hard for any show to come near it. So, but it's still great on its own. I think Tony Soprano is a very interesting character. And of course, Paulie's great. Silvio is my favorite character, though. Silvio and Bobby. They're definitely top 10 characters of all time, for sure. Just finished the first season of The Chair Company. The Chair Company is great. That's a new show. It's on HBO Max. And it's with, I think, Tim Robinson. And he's super funny. I highly recommend that show. I'm not going to spoil it because it just came out. But man, I loved it. I love dark comedies where it's so uncomfortable, makes you want to scream and rip your skin off, but it's so absurd and weird that it's still funny. It's good to be able to toe the line like that, because a lot of shows are either not relatable at all or are super cringy and you don't want anything to do with it. But I think The Chair Company strikes a nice balance between the two concepts. And besides, I think cringe humor can work pretty well. And I think The Chair Company's great at unnerving you, but not turning you off on watching the show further. Because I'm gonna be real, I have a very low tolerance to secondhand embarrassment and cringe. I just can't handle it. It kills me. So if you're like that, then I think The Chair Company will be good for you, because it never gets to that point, I don't think. Well, actually, I don't know. There's some pretty difficult scenes to watch at times, but it's still great. I would really recommend it. I think they're coming out with the season 2 in January in 2027, I think. Yeah. I thought it was 2025. I thought it was December of 2025. Wow. Pain unending. But anyway, I haven't painted traditionally in such a long time that it was honestly really nice to get back into the groove of painting like this again. Because, I don't know, digital painting's great. It's obviously still my bread and butter. My cat's playing with a toy. You'll have to ignore her. But it's something about getting, like, your hands dirty and actually, like, putting paint to canvas or paper. It's so nice. It's a lot of fun. And, you know, I like the happy accidents that come along the way because it's way easier to mess up. I think with traditional painting, I'd be stuck with the mistakes than digital. And, yeah, it's a really fun process. I like painting. I've been just drawing angel cats over and over and over again. At work, I have my daily planner just filled with little sticky notes of nothing but, like, angel cats and dogs and floating in the clouds and the rainbows and all that, and sparkles and sunshine. And it makes the days go by easier, I suppose. Doodling at work is nice. I think that it's a really nice, like, release throughout the day. Just when you have nothing better to do, to doodle a little bit. It makes the time go by faster, because nothing is worse than being stuck at a desk job and looking at the time on your computer. Nothing in the world is slower than that. Pure misery. But, you know, having like little sticky notes that you can crumple up and throw away that have a bunch of little doodles in it remind you that time does move and it's not just stuck. For me, the worst times of the day have got to be, honestly, anything after lunch. Anything after lunch is just hell. It's terrible. Time slows down to, like, a crawl. Because for my lovely little work schedule, since I work so close to a library, at lunchtime I eat my lunch as fast as humanly possible, and then I go over to the library and I read for like 30 minutes. It's great. And then I go back, and then I just wait for the time to pass. And then I go home and I play SpongeBob Minecraft. And yeah, what more could you ask for, really? I've been getting into the Beach Boys. I watched a YouTube video recently, a couple of them actually, from the same creator. Tour's Cabinet of Curiosities. I might put in the comments or in the description, I might do a link to his YouTube channel or type it out. Because I really liked this. It's two videos in particular. One about Brian Wilson's solo album, Love You, and that one's really cool. I love the song Ding Dang. I listen to that every single day. My drive to work is Ding Dang on repeat. I love that song. It's really, there's something about it. You just gotta go listen to it. Go listen to Ding Dang from the Love You album by the Beach Boys. I promise that you won't be disappointed. But I watched his video on Brian Wilson. It was very, I don't know. Brian Wilson had a really troubled life, but he's very inspiring, and his story is really interesting, and I think he was a really cool guy. And I don't know, I love I love the idea of somebody just saying, screw it, I'm gonna make an album, and I'm gonna put songs on there that are just the weirdest things ever. I absolutely love his Johnny Carson song. That is a real banger. Love that one. His song about the solar system, that's awesome too. I should just make music like that. Just make little tunes. Bang out some tunes on GarageBand about literally anything and everything and post them to YouTube. See how that would go. But I will say though, there's some creepy ass songs on Love You. I think don't remember the name of it. I think it's one of the last songs on the album. It's just super. Oh, I Want to Pick You Up. That's a super creepy song. Don't listen to that one. It's uncomfortable. Roller Skating Child is also kind of uncomfortable. You definitely don't want to add that to the work playlist. Don't want to be listening to that on your morning commute. But anyway, the other video that I watched was one on Brian Wilson. No, not Brian Wilson. Dennis Wilson! His brother. He also had some interesting songs. His album Pacific Ocean Blue is really good. And you just gotta go watch the videos. You gotta go listen to the Beach Boys. You gotta go listen to Dennis Wilson and Brian Wilson's solo albums. You just gotta do it. Just gotta go for it. Go into Love You blind and make your friends listen to it. Make your loved ones and see what they think about it. Yeah, I like the Beach Boys a lot. They're just so interesting because they really could have been like America's Beatles, but they just unfortunately had too many of their own like interpersonal problems to get to that point, I think. But honestly, that just makes them all the more interesting. I love the Beatles, don't get me wrong, but there's really something about the Beach Boys that makes them special. I really recommend the Tourist Cabinet of Curiosities videos, and of course, just gotta listen to the music yourself. Listen to Summer of Love, that album. Is it Summer of Love or Summer in Paradise? I think it's Summer of Love. That album is terrible. Say what you will about Love You and Brian Wilson's other really strange solo album, Adult Child. But at least there's some like soul to those. Like they're genuine windows into Brian's like mental psyche, and he's still a fantastic composer. But you cannot say any of that about Summer of Love. God, the Beach Boys, there's so many, they are so interesting. All of the members. Mike Love, Brian Wilson, Dennis Wilson. What's the name of the other one? I'm a fake Beach Boys fan. Clark? I don't remember. Man. Carl? I don't know. Starts with a C. But, damn. I've been exposed. Anyway. Yeah. Beach Boys. Listen to their stuff. I'm promoting and hyping a band from the 60s. But, I mean, they clung on for dear life till, like, the 90s at least, so. That's interesting, though, when a band, outlives its prime and tries to clean on for, like, generations, decades. Like, still doing the same stuff that they did. Like, do you say that they were a band from the 60s? Because technically they were still doing their own thing until way into, like, the 90s, so. Dunno. That is a question for far smarter people than me. I've been playing a lot of Outlast Trials, and dear God, the nightmares. I'll play that game right before bed for like 2 hours because I'm terrible at the game and I get stuck and lost, especially on the docks levels. And then I go right to bed and then wonder why I have the worst nightmares I've ever had in my entire life. Wake up in a cold sweat from these nightmares. Golly. It's a super fun game, though. I think it's genuinely one of the best live service games right now. I think it's funny to talk about the Outlast Trials while I'm painting something so sweet and cute. Speaking of painting sweet and cute things, I want to eventually make a kid's book. That's my big goal. I'm working towards that. So I'm trying to I don't want to like dull down my style per se for a kid's book or kids illustration. I think that kids books need to be more weird. I think we need more like interesting, not that the art styles that are being published right now aren't interesting, but like stuff like, Bad Case of the Stripes, Lane Smith's work, like the Science Curse and the Stinky Cheese Man. That's what I was thinking about, Stinky Cheese Man. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just not looking in the right places, but I feel like there just aren't as many, like, weirdly illustrated kids books. Or just weird, like, kids books in general. It's going right back to Tour's Cabinet of Curiosities. I really binge-watched his channel, and I really liked his video on Dare Write, the very strange kids book author and I guess photographer. I dropped my paintbrush there. Oops. We'll move on. Who like created very strange kids books that are kind of a little inappropriate for kids because of how weird they are. Just uncomfortable kids books, but yeah. I'm not going to talk about that anymore because I really want you to go watch the video. So go to Tour's Cabinet of Curiosities and just watch all the videos that I watched. And maybe, talk about them in the comments because I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on those. But anyway, kids books illustration. I want to be a kids book author, illustrator, and I want to make weird, Stinky Cheese Man-esque kids books. And I think I can do it. Just need to, nut up and do it. Then anyway. Yeah, I think I always really liked kids' books as a kid. I read a lot, and I was definitely the type of kid to just reread old kids' books and see. And I would always love finding new details. That was always my favorite part. And noticing, like, I had one kid's book as a kid. I don't remember what it is now, and I haven't been able to find it, but I remember being so fascinated because the art style was really messy. They had, like, colored out the lines, and it was, like, watercolor and pen sketches. And I think it was about, like, growing, like, a rabbit growing tomatoes. I can't remember for the life of me what it was. Maybe I'll be able to find it at my grandma's house. But I thought it was so cool that a professional artist, because, like, at this point, as like, a little kid, you're only really, like, exposed to, like, clean and professional art, especially in school. It's just, like, clip art, and you're taught not to color outside of the lines, so it was really cathartic for me as a kid to see somebody be published and, have a messier art style, because I don't know, when I was a kid, I used to be obsessed with quote-unquote perfection, making sure I colored within the lines, that all the colors were, like, the exact, like, amount of pressure so it would fill in the lines perfectly and not leave any spaces. So it was cool to know that I could break out of those boundaries and, do what I wanted. I guess let that be a lesson. It's all good to be a messy artist. And it's a lot of fun too. So do what you want, scribble outside the lines, have a blast, have a ball. It's great fun. Alrighty. We have our lovely little gray cat and orange cat. I wanted to make the cats more, like, naturalistically colored to contrast with the rainbow. Didn't want to go too cuckoo bananas. And as you have noticed, I have changed into a black hoodie because, and this, you might not have heard of this concept before. This is kind of magical. I can record on different days, and I think that's really awesome. I don't have to sit and record a video for 4 hours straight. Because believe it or not, the reason why I had to do it so, like, because I didn't want to speed it up by so much, but I wanted to kind of capture the whole process. I did, like, minimal edits, just because I just didn't really want to edit all that much. I don't really like editing, to be honest. But it's nice to see an artist's full process. I think things are too edited nowadays, where you have to really, really struggle to figure out how an artist did something when they do a video, because they cut so much and they do different angles and they never show, like, what they work with. So anyway, we got a calico cat, a gray cat, and an orange cat. I wonder if gray cats and orange cats, I know that different, like, coat colors and fur colors have different names. So I wonder if it's just gray cat and orange cat, or if there's specific names, like tabbies and calicos and tortoiseshells and stuff. But, oh man, I'm tired. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I actually have a cool idea for the back of this sketchbook too. I want to do heavens, like a heaven cat angel painting on the front, and then a cat hell painting on the back. But we'll see if I actually end up doing that. Who knows? With me, I never know, so I always have to keep it open whether or not I'm gonna do stuff. Because you just gotta have options in your life, I suppose. But I'm gonna try and do some more speed paints. I really, really enjoy doing, like, the bug speed paints are great, but I want to try to do more animals. I think it's fun to paint animals in, like, a really interesting storytelling way. Very symbolic and color-driven. And have it be kind of educational in a sense. Like with the African dung beetle speed paint that I did last week, depending on when I post this. It was last week or the week before. But I like doing those sorts of educational, or quote-unquote educational, because I put the descriptions and stuff in the description of what the animals are and what they're doing. And the Pacific beetle cockroach, the one that produces milk too, that was a fun speed paint. People really liked that. I was honestly shocked at how many people actually watched and commented on the video. That's the most, like, comments I've gotten on a video. And the comments are great. I love it when people enjoy my art, and I like it when it's something weird like bugs, because I don't think bugs get enough love, especially the weird undesirable ones like cockroaches and dung beetles. I think they're really cool, and I think that more attention needs to be given to animals in general, honestly. Speaking of animals, my cat is on my leg. I swear, in every single video, my cat's gotta be making noises. But hey, I'm painting angel cats, and these are my angel cats, so I can't be too upset. I don't know if you caught her, she's purring real loud. But anyway, we're getting close to the end of this painting, and I had a lot of fun. I genuinely think that painting your sketchbook cover is, like, one of the most fun ways to... It's a really fun thing. I really like painting sketchbook covers, and I'm going to, I think from now on, paint all of my sketchbook covers. Besides, like, the actual sketchbook ones, I'm going to be honest, this sketchbook is going to be a for YouTube painting and, like, markers, like, fully finished art sketchbook. I'm not gonna lie, I will of course absolutely have a separate sketchbook where I do my actual sketches. And I'll be honest, and maybe I'll do like a sketchbook tour of that. But for the most part, I think pretty much every artist has 2 or more sketchbooks. One that they actually, like, practice art principles and like concept designs and stuff, and another where they actually show the world. And this one's gonna be my show the world sketchbook. And yeah, I think that'll be really neat. I'm going in with Posca pens, just because I think Posca pens are a lot of fun. I think they can add a lot of detail. I'm not quite as talented with traditional painting, but I also don't really like doing super realistic stuff. So I still kind of need the Posca pens and colored pencils for the finer details, I guess. I can't just do it all with acrylic paint. And I like that variety. It's fun. I think that multimedia illustrations are my favorite. And that's another thing with digital art, is that you can't really go to... I don't know. I suppose you could, like, take pictures of things and add textures like that. And that can be pretty cool. But there's something about being able to touch, like, a painting, or tell that it's rough to the touch with, like, oil pastels and maybe some sand that you painted for some texture. Like, that's really cool. I like that a lot. And I would like to really go crazy with textures on a painting. Maybe my next painting video will do that. But here we go. Here is the cat angel painting on the front of my sketchbook, all done. I didn't film the colored pencil process, but really all I did was just scribble in the clouds to add more texture, like I was just talking about. This was super fun. I really liked painting, and if you painted with me, awesome. That's super cool. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye.